Benteke is currently on his way out of Liverpool. That has been for a while. 3 games where we're completely dominating but failed to score. We're currently still in the top 2 and we're playing Chelsea in the next episode. Hey guys, and welcome back to another episode of the Crystal Palace Career Mode. We are about to enter the January transfer window and we're going to make some signings. I had a few rumours up in the previous episode and you guys have let your voice be known. The Benteke rumour is by far the most popular one, so it looks like Benteke could be making his way to Crystal Palace. But before we head into the action, we need to do a little press conference. I think the Benteke rumour holds more truth, as Christian has barely had any playing time at Liverpool and his confidence is shot. In an article from BBC Sports states that Benteke has seen Crystal Palace's play and, I quote, "wouldn't be opposed to working with such a creative midfield such as Palace's." What are your thoughts, Mr. Manager? Well, honestly, Benteke could be the guy that we're looking for. We need a striker. Berahino is not cutting it. Colin Wickham tries hard, but he should be a backup striker in reality. If Benteke wants a new club, then join us. L'Equipe wrote that Cabella is a new transfer target of Crystal Palace because Townsend is not a real cam. Say something to this rumour. How have you found out? How have you found out that we're actually looking for Remy Cabella as well? Because it's true. Townsend is in reality a winger. We need a new cam because Townsend will be moving to the wings. Rumours have been saying that you're willing to coach Belgium. What are your thoughts? Been there, done that. They're overpaid, spoiled brats. I'm not doing that again. If you want to make sure your question gets answered in the next episode, make sure to leave them down below. I want to prefer to keep them short. I'm only going to answer like 3 or 4 maximum in each press conference. It's time to head into the transfer action. This transfer window right now is going to change everything. It could be great, it could be bad. We are in talks with Christian Benteke from Liverpool, and as you can see by the league standings, we've scored 30 goals this season, which is the same amount as Liverpool, who are doing bad and who are struggling. That is not good. We're not scoring enough goals. We have the best defensive record in the league, which is fine. But goals is where we're lacking. And if we can get in Christian Benteke and a new cam or winger, then we're sorted. But right now, the lack of goals is hurting us. And we need to go into the Chelsea game without those reinforcements. We're going to struggle. We're at Selhurst Park though, so I'm kind of optimistic about our chances. This is a huge game. It's a top of the table clash. We've seen the impact of Ashley Williams when he came in. He solidified that back line. Mandanda is still suspect. I may be able to sell on Mandanda for a lot of money. I'm not too sure if that's going to happen. We'll see how that develops. But right now, main priority, Christian Benteke and a new camera / winger. It's so tight. It's literally 1 point between us. 1 goal difference as well. United are coming close as well on 5 points, but if this is the one, Chelsea against Crystal Palace, potentially one of these 2 teams is winning the league. Andros, look at the run. It's James McArthur who's through on goal. James McArthur against Courtois. Good save by the Belgian goalkeeper. First chance of the game after 20 minutes. Decent start from Crystal Palace. Zaha towards Yannick. Yannick lines it up and blasts one. McArthur, well, blocks it. Ashley Williams now on his right foot. Another save drawn out of Thibaut Courtois. Going into half-time at 0-0. We've been able to test Thibaut Courtois a couple of times. 3 shots, 3 on target. We're in control of the possession as well. They had 1 chance, which was well saved by Steve Mandanda. But so far, I feel like we're lacking a little bit of fitness up front to do something. I'm going to bring on Jason Punchin for Yannick Bolasie, who once again was underwhelming. That's the only change I'm making so far. Come on, Jason. We know what you can do. Well done by Townsend into McArthur. They've left a bit of space right here for Jason Punchin, fresh off the bench. Jason Punchin inside, past 2 men, doing well into McArthur, now through to Andros Townsend, and he scores! It's 1-0, Crystal Palace. Andros Townsend gives Palace the lead after a brilliant run by Jason Punchin. The credit goes to Punchin, no doubt. McArthur with the assist, great finish, pokes it past Thibaut Courtois on his weaker right as well. Difficult finish to make, but he has done it. Andros Townsend, what a goal. I'm not just saying what a goal for the beauty of it, but also the importance of this goal could be huge. McArthur, good challenge. Through to Sacco. Sacco is in a one-on-one with Mats Hummels. He should have the pace on Hummels. Sacco turns inside. Lovely work. It's James McArthur arriving. He doesn't get there. Penalty. Penalty, ref. How is he not given that? They are pushing everyone forward. The moment we get the ball, we need to counter. Win this, Ashley. Doesn't win it, but Mandanda does. 1 minute of injury time. It's all over. We win the game against Chelsea. There was a penalty shout. I would have been so angry if that ended up costing us the game. How clear of a penalty was that? Let me know in the comments down below if you thought that should have been given. I thought it was a blatant pen, but nonetheless, we win the game. Deservedly so. We had more chances. We outplayed Chelsea, I felt like, at times. And it was only when they started pushing forward that they created a couple of decent opportunities. Man of the match shout for MacArthur with the assist. Jason Puncheon was influential when he came on. It's a tough one. We're all probably looking at Townsend, MacArthur and Mandanda and maybe even Puncheon, but this is what I don't get about the ratings. Mandanda made 6 saves, 6 relatively easy ones, maybe 1 or 2 difficult ones. He's not going to get it, first and foremost. Tackles in the midfield. Cabaye made 3 out of 3 tackles, the most out of the entire team. Completed 4 out of 4 dribbles, the only one to be flawless in our entire team, apart from Scott Dan and Mandanda. Passes, 10 out of 10. The best passer. How does he only get a 7.8 rating? Cabaye gets it. End of story. He was flawless, kept Oscar in his back pocket. I mean, the ratings aren't always a fair reflection of how the game went. We're going to have a few training sessions here and there, and I'm going to give you guys an update on transfer situations. I put in a bid for Benteke, Berahino and 5 million. I don't think they're going to accept that, but we'll work our way up from there. They've rejected the offer, so I'm giving them 12 million euros now, plus Yannick Bolasie. They weren't interested in Berahino either. We've only got a couple of days left before the game against City. It's not looking likely that we're going to sign someone before that game. Offers keep rolling in for Steve Mandanda. Around the clock, it's unreal, and Spurs have been the closest so far to the 35 million asking price. I'm not going to budge. 35 million is what I want if you want to see Mandanda go. He's in excellent form apparently as well, so that's another reason why his price should be bumped up. Marseille coming in for Berahino now. I want to sign Remy Cabella off them, so if they're interested in Berahino, we could do a swap. I'm going to counter offer for 80 million for now. Maybe they'll give us that. Real Madrid also coming in for Steve Mandanda. They may actually be able to pay 35 million. Transfer situations aren't developing as quickly as I wanted to, so we have to play the next game at the Etihad. Another huge game against Manchester City. I've opted for form over ratings. That's why the likes of Berahino and Bolasie, who are out of their way of the club anyways, are not playing. Townsend, Jason Puncheon, who deserved an honourable mention after the last game. Sissoko coming back as well. It's a strong side. I believe we can take City. And of course, it's snowing. I'm going to lose this game now. Oh, straight away a mistake. Bakary Sako holds onto the ball well. Cuts back into Moussa Sissoko. Sissoko looking for Jason Puncheon. Jason Puncheon finds the pass. It's a save by Joe Hart. Joe Ward inside, well played. Now into Jason Puncheon. Jason Puncheon trying to do a bit of trickery. He plays a brilliant ball through. Bakary Sako just couldn't get there. Gundogan. Gundogan doing work. Gundogan, good defensive display by Scott Dan. Fabian Delph is cutting through our defence. He plays it across to David Silva. David Silva inside. What a block by Scott Dan. We're giving it away though still. We've got someone on the edge. It's Andros Townsend. Andros Townsend on his left. Oh, it's found the back of the net. Andros Townsend has scored. His second in 2 games today. And what a strike that was to beat Joe Hart from that angle. Not too sure what happened there. We're looking at the replay. Puncheon will get the assist. Townsend gets some unbelievable curl on that one. Joe Hart, his vision was blocked by the amount of bodies in front of him. But I still think he should have been saving that. Sanya and Otamendi look to be in the line of the shot. Yaya Toure not helping either. Andros Townsend on the wings. It just is working way better than Yannick Bolasie. That's a goal. Yep, they equalised straight away. I knew it as soon as I saw that pass coming through. He wasn't going to miss that. Fabian Delph with the equaliser. I put in the tackle here, I think. Well, I never really put in the tackle. I just clothesline him. The ball drops to them, played it through. Easy goal for Fabian Delph. They're back in the game just like that. Aguero's ripping us a new one here. Sergio Aguero denied by Steve Mandanda. A first half of 2 halves, because the first half of the first half, we were in control, playing well. We got the goal. The moment we scored, they put on the pressure on us, they equalised and they kept going. Mandanda denied Aguero from close range, so we need to be careful. It's an end-to-end game, to be fair. It's a fun one to play. Oh, Aguero again. Good save, Mandanda. I'm struggling. Aguero is I can't deal with him. He's just too good. Ilkay Gundogan with space. Sissoko can't get there. It's a shot just wide again. City definitely playing better in the second half. Sissoko. I think he's offside, you know, Bakary Sako. Or is he? Is Sako onside? He cuts back, plays it off. Jason Puncheon for the win. Joe Hart with a brilliant save to deny Jason Puncheon. That could have been the winner. I finessed it, put enough power on it. Joe Hart, excellent save. Going short towards the edge. Who is that? It's Bakary Sako. Sako on his left. Strikes it. Joe Hart. It's Andros Townsend now. He needs to get it on his left. He tried, and that's going to be the end of the game. It's a 1-1 draw. Good game against Man City. Honestly, both teams could have nicked it. The majority of the second half, I felt like Man City were the better team. Towards the end, we countered them, created some good opportunities. We were unlucky not to score, and once again, the lack of goals did come into play there. We did technically outplay them, double the shots on target. Man of the match is going to be a tough one. Most dribbles completed, most passes completed, as well as Yohan Cabaye. This time, I'm going to give it to Jason Punchin. He missed out on it last time. This time, it was a good performance for the full 90 minutes. Marseille have matched 80 million for Berahino. This is great news because the lack of funds are stalling our current transfers. With that 80 million, we can finally make some moves. And Real Madrid have matched 35 million for Steve Mandanda. Get in! I honestly don't mind Steve Mandanda at all, but for that price, I think I'm happy to see him leave. And McCarthy was complaining earlier about his playing time, so it just fits the bill completely. Both Mandanda and Berahino have been sold. Benteke, you're coming to Palace, mate. By being first in the Premier League and having sold Steve Mandanda and Saido Berahino, Crystal Palace are now quite a wealthy club, and even though the manager has already expressed interest in Remy Cabella from Marseille, there are rumours going around that he might be looking at more expensive options. Apart from the obvious interest in Remy Cabella, there could be a possibility for Xherdan Shaqiri to move to Selhurst Park, as he's had a shocking first half of the season. He's in horrible form and needs to reignite his career, potentially with Crystal Palace. Shaqiri wouldn't be opposed to the move, as Stoke City are doing well, but he's not being played too often. As Crystal Palace are in need of a new midfielder, he could fancy his chances of playing time. Another side doing extremely well this season, above what they're usually used to, are West Ham. Dimitri Payet is currently the top player at the club. Could Crystal Palace make a bold move and go for the Frenchman? Let me know which rumour is true. Remy Cabella being reunited with some of his former teammates from the Premier League. Dimitri Payet, a top player at a good club that could potentially be persuaded. Or Xherdan Shaqiri, who is a great talent but hasn't had the best start to his season. Which one of these three is most likely to join Crystal Palace in the next episode? We're going to finish off the episode with a game against Nottingham Forest, though, that I will sim with my second side. I don't want to risk it. It's at home. I'm expecting to go through. That's the third game of today's episode. With all these transfer activities going on, I'll keep it down to 2 games played and 1 simmed. Crystal Palace against Nottingham Forest. It's a 2-0 win. Joe Ledley and Jason Punchin getting the goals. Liverpool have finally been persuaded. 18 million plus Yannick Bolasie is the price tag Liverpool have accepted. 3 years, crucial first team player. Hopefully he's not going to be too difficult with the wages. I need to be careful with my wage budget. We'll wrap up the Christian Benteke signing in the next episode, as well as one of these 3. Which one of these 3 is probably going to join Crystal Palace at the end of the transfer window? I hope you enjoyed. I want to thank you all for watching, and I'll see you all later.